Hi, welcome to this podcast. And I want to say God bless you and thank you for listening. And I pray that all is well with you as I'm speaking now. I'm hoping that, wherever you are and whoever you are, and I'm hoping that whatever it is said today, it resonates with you and as well with me as well as I'm speaking that, I'm going to say the short prayer that I decrease and that the Holy Spirit increased in me. I wanted to share a verse that I've read from Lamentation. I read the whole chapter, which is chapter 3, which chapter 3 of Lamentations start from verse 1 and ends in verse 66. But I marked off verse 21 through 26. And it's ironic too because I just viewed my Bible app and I highlighted it in my Bible app as well. And it says from verse 21, I'm just going to read verse 21 through 26 because I marked verse 21 this morning. Well, yesterday, really. No, yeah, this morning, really. It says in verse 21, this I recalled to my mind. Therefore have I hope. It is of the Lord's mercy that we are not consumed, because his compassions fail not. They are new every morning. Great is thy faithfulness. The Lord is my portion, saith my soul. Therefore will I hope in him. The Lord is good unto them that wait for him, the soul that seeketh him. It is good that a man should both hope and quietly wait for the salvation of the Lord. And that's the partial reading of the word from Lamentation chapter 3 verses 21 through 26. And I want to say this, that what a God we serve. And this brought hope to me because he is our hope, if we believe it or not, that God is our hope. And above all that we're going through, even what you're going through now too as well, and even at this time, wherever you may be located, whatever part of the country you are, and whether you be at home or you're just contemplating something in your mind, I'm hoping it's positive thoughts in your mind, and that whatever is wearing you out, whatever is overwhelming you, and I don't know why I'm saying it, but the word anxiety, whatever is, you're feeling anxious about, because we know in the word say be anxious for nothing. And it's not easy to, take in the word, to be honest, as us, as being humans. But we have to trust in the word and believe in the word. And let me say this, it really takes you to die to your, for your flesh to die. It's really taking yourself to die daily. And it's the everyday process, because I can speak that for myself. And as I read this, I hope this word resonate, which I'm going to put in a description as well, that this is a mindset thing for me as as I read it, that, when you recall those things, that the times and the things that God have done for you and that he's about to do, it makes you be grateful. It allows you to be really grateful for the fact that you're still in the land of the living, and that you're not alone, and you're not, and that he's always there. It's our emotions and in our times where, we feel like, enough is enough. What's more could happen? What's going on? Why am I here? Why am I existing still? Why am I still breathing? And when you think like that, you have to think to yourself too, and and contemplate to yourself that God has a reason for you to be here. You may feel like that. Even for me personally, I'm be honest, like me being here, working from home, being home right now in the physical world, I'm by myself, but I'm not alone. But at times it is hard because I'm not around a lot of people. I'm barely around that much people because my family don't live in the same county I'm in. I'm located in Florida. So it hasn't been easy, but I'm trusting the process. And you know what? That's the word, process. We still have to trust the process we're in, that is going to better us, because I've said this before and I've heard it from my spiritual sister before, that this walk of faith, It means for you to walk alone, where you're not going to understand yourself at times, majority of the time, because the way God thinks is different from the way man thinks. Okay, it says in the word that his ways are not our ways. His thoughts are not our thoughts. So it's not easy, but we know that our hope is in him. Even though we don't see him, we have to put our hope in the invisible God. And our faith is in him. Our livelihood is in him. And this is why that, we have to give him the glory. And I like when verse 23 said they are, that his mercies are new every day, because it's connecting to verses 21 and 22. And verse 22 said, it is of the Lord mercies that we are not consumed. And it's true. Think about it. That, all our days, we're not perfect, but by his mercy, we're still living. By his mercy, we're alive. And not a lot of people could give that glory, could thank God for that, because a lot of people don't wake up to see another day. And those who die, living in the world and having the world mindset, they don't understand that. And let me go on. It said, because his compassion fail not. And we know that he's a loving, compassionate God. He's kind. He's good. He's the only good God. And they are new every morning. Great is thy faithfulness. And that's giving glory. For me, that's that verse to me give him the glory that he is always faithful. No man on this earth is faithful, not even me. Because when I pray, I know, like, there's time when I pray and I have to realize that he's always been faithful to me, even when I'm not faithful. I'm not always right. I'm not always going to be perfect. No human being is. We err. But nevertheless, we serve a God who is. It's us not staying in that mindset that, that we have to do something, or that, you're anxious to get something, or that, you feel like you're worthless and you're not. You have to learn to put your emotions, to the side. I don't like to use the word. You have to put your emotions in tie. You have to put your emotions in check, really. And I'm learning that, putting our emotion in check, it means you have to be in your word. Like, sometimes you just have to shut off the computer. You just have to shut off the noise, meaning you have to be isolated in the physical to really, like, not to isolate yourself to the point where, you're neglecting people. No, it's just that people don't understand. Sometimes you just need that moment to yourself. You need that time to yourself. You're in that season for yourself where it's not you by yourself, but it's really you in the presence of God and the Holy Spirit. And you have to trust that, he will never leave you nor forsake you. And this is where revelation comes. And this is stuff and when I mean revelation, it's not just revelation about, about the King of Kings and the Lord of Glory, but it's revelation about yourself, that some things in you that God revealed to yourself when you're in your inner, when you're in your inner peace in his presence, and you meditating to the point where, you never knew that about yourself, because that happened to me. But, nevertheless, he's merciful. He's faithful. And that, and I like what verse 24 goes on to say, that he's my portion. Like, he is your portion. And your hope will always have to be in him, not in man. And that for a fact, too. That fact. Because the world system is crazy. The government system is crazy. The rulers on this earth are crazy. And I'm be honest, they are. Because nothing is not, and you could tell, because they're not seeking the counsel of the Lord. And technology and stuff is going haywire to me. Meaning that technology is getting too advanced to the point that it's making people become lazy. And then making people lose contact of the natural things of life that God created, the natural law of God, meaning childbearing, woman being a woman, a man being a man, and you doing work instead of you depending on this and that, from a technology. And I ain't gonna lie, and I have to examine myself in that too. Because because I've seen something on YouTube that was crazy about pregnancy, how in the coming future that they're going to have artificial babies. And let me tell you, that's kind of creepy. No, that's not kind. That's just the creepiest, scariest thing I've heard. And I've seen a glimpse of it. And on YouTube from Isaiah Salvador YouTube page. And let me say this, people are crazy. Mankind, our minds are wicked. And, this was prophesied too by Apostle Paul. He talks about how the invention of man is getting advanced and getting wicked. It talks about it in Romans chapter 1. And Romans chapter 1 is referencing the times now as well. When you read it, the whole chapter. Like he's giving men into their reprobate mind, that's going on right now. He has. And people are losing the natural affection. Men are losing the natural affection of women, and women losing the natural affection of men. And for technology to be like that to the point where people have to create robotic things, it's just disgusting to me. Because to me, a child is a blessing from God. And labor pain is something that we have to bear with, because what happened in the Garden of Eden with Eve, being, disobedient. But all in all, I'm just going to say this, put your hope and faith in God. Because this is not the time where you have to feel sorry for yourself. This is not the time to feel like, you say to yourself that you're useless, and you're not. You're more than enough. You're extraordinary. You're wonderfully, you're fearfully and wonderfully made. You're beautiful. You're kind. You're wise. And I don't even know who you are. And I'm just speaking life into you. You're innovative. You're the child of God. And I want to say, God, and as I'm about to close now, and I'm going to say this. I want to say thank you for listening, and stay encouraged, stay motivated too, stay inspired in the word, and ask God what's your desire, what's his desire for you, for you in your life, but your life is not your own. So I want to say God bless you. Thank you for listening, and I love you.